what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Heron Heads podcast. My name is Julio, and we have a full house tonight. I'm joined today by my friends and fellow Inter Miami fans, Dave, Chris, and Jose. And on behalf of the guys, I want to thank you for joining us on the Heron Heads podcast, powered by 786 Sports, your first stop for all things Inter Miami. Before we begin tonight's much more pleasant and joyous episode, I'd like to thank our Chief Heron Heads, Chow and Mighty V, for the continued support. And if you'd like to support us on Patreon, you'll find a link in the description wherever you are listening. For those of you watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, if you're enjoying the show. And check out the other links that we have in our description. We have a link to our Discord server, which was very lively tonight, and merch shop and some other cool stuff. And lastly, this episode is brought to you by Floofball, the up-and-coming dog toy brand for football-loving pups.
Floofball makes soccer-inspired plush toys and bandanas so your dog can rep your favorite team right alongside with you.
Their Floofball collection is perfect for match day, featuring a pink plush soccer ball and team-style bandanas that scream Vamos Miami.
Whether you're at the park or watching the game from the couch, your pup will be looking like the true 12th man.
Grab your pup the soccer kit they deserve at floofball.com. That's FLOOFBALL.com. And receive 10% off your first purchase with code Heron Heads at checkout. Head over to floofball.com and use Heron Heads code for 10% off your first purchase. And thank you to Floofball for sponsoring this episode. All right, guys. So Inter Miami got a little bit of vengeance on Seattle after the debacle that was the Leagues Cup final. Inter Miami ended up winning 3-1, and it felt much better than the last few matches that we've seen. So how's everybody feeling? Where's everybody's spirits at tonight?
Where was this in Seattle? That's what I want to know.
Our trip would have been that much better if they would have done some of this.
Yeah, I mentioned it in the Discord because somebody forgot who it was, but somebody was like, "Oh, I feel like it's going to be a 4-0 win for Inter Miami." And I said unlikely, and two, I said I don't know if I would even feel that great about it because it's like, man, if you can do it in the regular season or do it in the Leagues Cup final, do it in the damn Leagues Cup final, please. For the love of God, show something instead of what we got. But putting that behind us, I do feel much better about a 3-1 win, especially after the debacle of the last match against Charlotte. So yeah, I'll take this any day of the week. We saw some good things. We saw a match without Suarez, which is fantastic. We saw a little bit of a wrinkle with Silvetti finally making his debut and showing some nice things, and Ian Frey again getting the start over Cello. There was things that we've kind of been clamoring for all season. We kind of saw them in this one, and again, it's a taste of what could be and hopefully of what will be moving forward.
Yeah, man, it feels so much better because we've been down in the dumps the last few games, and this hasn't been fun. And I know we have our ups and downs, but the team has looked so bad, and for them to come out the way that they did tonight, it shows, one, it proves a point that we keep saying they're just super inconsistent, but two, it proves a point that we have the firepower on this team to make things happen. And why doesn't it show up every single match? Or maybe not to this extreme to have to be up 3-0 at some point, but man, show some life. And today we saw some life from this team finally. Like David said, we saw Silvetti come in later on. He looked fun to watch, breath of fresh air, youth up in the attack. And yeah, overall the team looked good. The defense looked solid. You know, they got the back line got beat a couple times, but for the most part they looked really good. Midfield held up the whole match, and our attack looked strong. We were making our runs up. We were getting into the attack, and it's just so different than what we've seen. They looked competent today at the end of the day, and hopefully we see this more. You know, where this win allowed us to get those 3 extra points. No one else played tonight. I think there's only 2 teams playing tomorrow, so this is one of those games that was basically a must win with no one else playing, and we took care of business. We got our 3 points. And now we just got to keep looking forward. We're on the way to the Supporters Shield. Can we get it? I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things with Dave where it's you get what you get. You don't get upset. At this point, we don't know really what this team every time they take the pitch, We don't know what they're going to bring. I have no idea. It's either going to be the 3-0 team or the 0-3 team. It's you got to celebrate the wins, but I would like, and I think we all would like, a little bit of stability, right? Some sort of I don't know, so an expectation. I mean, do you guys have any expectations going into any game at this point?
No, and
Question mark.
that's the bigger like issue, not issue, but it's the bigger question for the rest of the season is, can we have any sort of consistency and carry over form from match to match, because you don't know what you're going to get. And we know Suarez isn't going to play one more match, so we know that the attack has to look different than that setup. So will we see Allende and Messi again as a front two, which, for the record, I don't think Allende had a very good match. So
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. But things did look good today, and it felt like we had much better spacing today for most of the match. And the energy was good too. So, I mean, can we carry that from match to match, especially as we play so many matches back to back to back to back in the short span of time? That remains to be the big question.
A big component of that, even though Allende up top of Messi's not fantastic, I do feel that there was a concerted effort to get Jordi Alba involved in the attack and really they gave him the freedom to roam and to really affect the attack, which is something that we kind of have been mentioning many times this season, is that Jordi Alba hasn't really been leaving his fingerprint in the attack. And in this one, you saw it early on. He came in and got the early goal. Thank you. First of all, thank you, Thuck Fung. Got that right.
Boom.
He says
Say
the
that
problem,
5 times fast.
yeah. Whew. That was dangerous. He said the problem is that we can handle routine games, but when it really matters, CONCACAF Champions Cup and Leagues Cup, or when an opportunity, when an opponent plays without fear, Inter Miami ends up falling to even a mid-table MLS team.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't even know if that's like, we've seen them fall flat on pretty much regular opponents as well.
And also, Seattle has no reason to fear us. So this is Seattle's not the best team in the West. They had a great Leagues Cup run, and they had a very good run of form in that competition. But Seattle had no reason to fear us, coming off of what was a very emphatic victory over us in the final. So listen, again, we need to see it over the course of 3 matches, 5 matches, 7 matches to really feel like, okay, I feel good about this team heading into the MLS playoffs. But this is an important first step to come back and face a team that just dog walked you, and have this kind of showing. Yes, it was in Miami this time. So Seattle was the one that traveled. There's a lot of factors that play into it, but Miami was playing with a shortened bench. And we had to play without our striker. Like, realistically, both teams were dealing with things, but this is an important step to building that consistency, right? Like, you have to start with the first one. So if this is hopefully a get right game, then okay, let's see what happens this coming weekend and let's build off of it. Hopefully that's what we see.
And we have some beatable games coming up. We have DC coming up Saturday. Then next week we have New York City FC, Toronto, Chicago, New England Revolution, Atlanta. I mean, all of those are super beatable teams. And the last game of the season is Nashville. So that's probably our biggest test. But in the next 8 games or whatever it is, we should really, God forbid I say, we should win out. Those teams are not on our level. I'm sorry. I don't care what anyone says. Those teams are not on our level. They should not be on our level. They should not give us any hard trouble.
We don't know what is our level, Chris. That's the problem. What is our level?
How we look tonight, that's how we should look every night. We have the players to do it, and for some reason they don't come out all the time. And what happens is what we saw this weekend and against Seattle the last match. But what should happen is what we saw tonight. That should be what our team should be.
The issue is the condensed schedules. Like, yeah, if in a perfect world you come out with the intensity that you did today, the crisp passing, honestly, the passing was super impressive to me today. If you come out like that every day, you should be able to win. But they do have a ton of matches back to back to back in a very short amount of time, so it will be tough to maintain that level of consistency. That's why I was really actually appreciative of the fact that Ian Frey came off in this one for Cello. You would like to see some other substitutions, but yeah, we were with a really short bench today. so it kind of made sense to not have a ton of subs. And Seattle's a team that can really put it on you real quick if you do take too many people out. I mean, regulars out. So I kind of happy that Frey came off, but yeah, there's definitely going to be an issue. I think in the next few matches with rotation, it's something that we haven't seen Mascherano really dominate. So that'll be, if anything's going to be our hurdle, it's going to be that.
Yeah, there's a lot of comments coming up about the squad depth. It's true that is one of our biggest issues, but having 2 guys suspended, a couple guys injured, that doesn't help anything at all. So even when we're fully healthy and everyone's ready to go, depth is still sort of an issue. So hopefully once everyone gets healed up, suspensions are gone, no one else gets any more freaking red cards, please. Maybe we see something a little different.
And hopefully we play well enough where we can make substitutions that aren't the strongest substitutions, but we can, make our way through a match.
Right.
Bing bong.
Go ahead, Jose.
Oh, all right. I just wanted to say we should have like a soundboard. Bing bong.
You're the soundboard, man.
Huh? Yeah, I know, right?
Who needs a soundboard when you got those effects?
So let's say just for fun, if we build up from here, would you guys bet the house on Inter Miami winning the MLS Cup with a Mascherano masterclass?
No,
brother. Right now, I'm just happy to be here in a sense where it's like I'm excited that we got this win over a team that just completely obliterated us in Seattle for a final. A team that everyone said had our number. Ultimately, not so much. Not today, but what I'm nervous about is just the consistency, man. And it could be what these folks are saying in the comments of the lack of depth that eventually it's going to catch up to us. We did come from a little bit of a relaxation period for our guys. We followed it up with a stinker, right? But no, I mean it's. I don't know. I would never say to count us out in the sense, but because we do have the talent to win and to make it to go the distance. But am I betting my house? No, but I'll bet David's house.
Also, I want to clarify, what exactly is a Mascherano masterclass? Have we seen any of those? I think we saw one this season. Maybe
That's the biggest hurdle, is the fact that we have to pin this on a Mascherano masterclass, something that doesn't exist. So like I can't really pin putting my house up for that. But yeah, I mean, if we're having some fun, yeah, you know what? You can't bet against Messi too often. So if I'm a betting man, I don't think there's some kind of major issue with putting a couple bucks on Messi going all the way to the MLS Cup. I mean, that tournament is a little bit random. Once you get in, you kind of just have to be the hot team. It's not. That's why typically teams like leagues don't really have these tournaments at the end of the season. They have whoever wins their league, that's the champion. The Supporters Shield is the goal.
Stop arguing about what it is. This is what we have. Are we gonna win it or not? I don't understand.
That's what I'm saying. That I think that we have a better chance at the MLS Cup than we do the Supporters Shield.
This guy's on the fence here. Is he off it or on it? I don't understand. Are we gonna win or we're not gonna win? You betting your house or not?
I would bet the house on the players that we have. I wouldn't bet on it being a result of a Mascherano masterclass. Right. We've said one time this season that Mascherano had a good game, and it was that match where he made the substitutions in the 60th minute, and he had a great starting lineup, and he did things. And then the very next match that went away, poof,
and he immediately forgot about all that stuff.
So I would certainly bet on a piece of paper this team, but I wouldn't bet on it being because of a Mascherano masterclass. It would be because we have the greatest player in not only the league, but the world. And because we have a collection of other superstar talents. And we talked about this after the Charlotte match, where you're going to have matches where the superstars, just by their very nature, are going to get you across the finish line. Now, can the other players of the team, can the Brights perform at the level that he performed tonight? Can Frey perform at the level he performed tonight? Can Silvetti continue to show the go-getter attitude that he showed in the 10 minutes that he came on with? That's the important question. And that will be what gets us to be able to get through a elimination tournament and be successful, but it's not going to be because of a Mascherano masterclass. He needs to not mess it up, in my opinion.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. So the match started really well, and that's something that we've seen a lot from Inter Miami, but the only difference was today it didn't drop off after 15 minutes, which is sometimes what we've seen happen. Other teams can like shell up and just defend, and then once we get that like initial spark of energy, we sort of run out of gas and immediately get hit on a counterattack and allow a goal. But that wasn't the case tonight, and Jordi Alba was forced to play more attacking because of the lineup that Mascherano put out. To his credit, he started Allen at left back and had Alba play more advanced, and Alba got involved early and often with Messi. Obviously, incredible interplay between the two, and they traded off goals with Alba scoring the first and Messi scoring the second, and them assisting each other. So I obviously loved what we saw in the first half, and all the players just seemed more like on it. They seem sharper. They seem to be reading the play much better than we've seen in the last few matches. And the perfect example of that was Yannick Bright, who created the takeaway that led to both goals. And he read passes that were coming into the man he was marking. He took both and immediately led to goals. And I think that was prevalent throughout the entire team tonight.
Yeah. Do you guys think that we see this wrinkle going forward? Because it looked good. Alba kind of in the attack mode. Alba, Allen playing left back. Even when Suarez comes back, it could be something that Mascherano kind of looks forward to. If there's something he needs to try, and maybe that. It looked good tonight.
That's the issue. It's when Suarez returns.
Yeah.
How does he make this fit? I understand that you can put Allende, you swap Suarez with the Allende role there, but
yeah,
I've
that's
seen
that's what you do basically.
Yeah, but then where's Allende? Because I feel like they feel like they have to pigeonhole him. Allende starting every single match, no matter what. So I think they have some predetermined notion of who needs to play, and I think that's kind of throwing things off. Because in a perfect world, I think the formation we just saw today was fantastic. They said it was a 4-3-3, but that's not a 4-3-3. They had three center backs, and then they had Frey and Alba on the wings, and that's basically like five at the back. But it was very, very, I thought it was beautiful what they had going on, honestly, and the passing showed it. Everybody seemed to be in sync. There wasn't a lot of mental mistakes that we've seen this team make. This formation is honestly great, and I'm okay with having Allende off. Like if we keep this exact same formation and have Suarez starting, and in place of Allende, and Allende starts on the bench, I'm okay with that. That shouldn't be like this earth-shattering notion for this squad, but I do feel that they feel like they have to put Allende in there.
Is there someone you'd rather see in that spot, either between Suarez and Allende?
Not right now. We need to see more from Silvetti.
Right.
I think the biggest
assuming this
issue,
formation stays the same, right?
Yeah. I just think there's no to answer your question, no, there's no one else I would like to see because we don't know fully what Silvetti brings to the table. And I don't think Fafa is meant for that role. I don't think he plays that role well because he would be the de facto striker.
Where Allende was today.
Right. Right.
So I think you guys prefer to leave Allende there over Suarez?
Right? No, I'd rather Suarez.
No, I don't think Allende did anything in today's match to warrant that.
Suarez, even though he's not scoring at the clip that he was, he's shown, especially lately, he's shown that he can create for others. He has that vision. He has a goal in mind for everybody around him, and that's why a lot of times he gets so frustrated when people aren't doing what he expects them to do. It's usually just him and Messi who are on the same page, but he does have that creation in his mind, whereas Allende, he's not a creator for anyone else, and it's really just him using his physical talents to score. And unfortunately, that's where a lot of it ends for him. He has the physical ability but the actual scoring ability or the finishing or the touching, like that last little bit hasn't really clicked for him, and that's the problem. So if it comes between the veteran that has vision and can create for others, or the younger player who all he has is youth, I'm gonna lean towards Suarez, even though he will leave us scratching our heads with some really bad attempts, but he is more likely to create for others.
And also imagine how much less frustrated Suarez would be if he was playing between Alba and Messi, as opposed to playing next to Allende or playing next to Segovia. Suarez gets so frustrated with these other players, but if he's playing with other players that are at a similar mental level, as far as like field awareness, field vision, it might open up things for him too. The only thing I think hinders the chances of us seeing this consistently is just the fact that we have a lot of matches, and having Allen and Alba both out there from the start really limits your ability to be flexible with rotation. That's the only thing that I think holds it back from being something we see long term. However, we may see it come playoff time. Maybe not always, but it looked good tonight.
Yeah, that looks like it could be.
On the flip side of that, I think it opens up a lot more rotation. Not that Mascherano's a big rotation guy, but it opens up a lot more rotation in the midfield. Sometimes it depends. Maybe it's a matchup issue. Sometimes you want to put Velasco, Segovia starting instead of Bright or whatever. I'm not saying the exact thing. I'm just throwing names out there right now. But it opens you up to more rotation in the midfield. Position of strength on our team, in my opinion. Not that they've performed to that level recently, but it is still a position of strength.
See, I think the opposite, actually. I think that when you have all those center backs, I feel like you have to play Busquets, you have to play Bright, and you have to play DePaul, and that's it. I don't think that that really leaves you much room for rotation, because the drop off is significant for each of those roles. Maybe you can get like who you gonna like realistically sub in Segovia for? It would be a DePaul in that role, and I think that the drop, like, you're not getting the same one-for-one skill set there. So that's why I don't think that
Redondo
I think it's matchup. I think it's
the one we
matchup
had
dependent.
before.
Huh?
Redondo was the only one that could possibly fill in. I wouldn't say it was it was a drop off, but you know what I mean. That was the closest thing that we had to that.
Yeah, Redondo was like it was him and Bright were the two
Right.
pieces that were interchangeable.
Right.
But once you bring on DePaul,
Yeah,
Segovia, that's kind of more in line with what Segovia does. So when you have 3 center backs and 2 wing backs, that I think that it actually limits what you can do in the midfield.
true.
I mean, we do have really good midfielders for that role, which is great, and Segovia would be a fine substitution. But I don't think for rotation purposes, like who you realistically benching for Segovia, and thinking that that's a decent sub.
I still think it's a matchup dependent. It's a matchup dependent. It's ultra defensive. You keep Bright, Boosie, and RDP in there, DePaul in there. So it just depends who you're playing against. Tonight, it made sense. Seattle is fast. They're very good on attack. Although defensively, they're very good too. But it's just, I think it's matchup dependent. If you're playing a stronger defensive team and you need to really attack them a little stronger, then I think you go with Segovia over Bright. And maybe you don't need that extra defensive help. So I just think it really is matchup dependent. But overall, I like the formation.
I'm curious. Has Allende, and I'm honestly, since this one has come up, I still don't know what emoji that is. Is that like logs? Like, is that like
stump?
It's a stump.
Like logs of poop? Okay,
it's a tree
I wasn't
stump.
Sure. Just, but Allende is stump. I don't know.
It's like a traffic cone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So with that, have we kind of turned on Suarez a little bit? What I've been stuck on that since 9:59 p.m. like when that was posted, and it's like 5 minutes. And you guys have talked a lot, but I'm like, what is that? It looks like a little guy or something. I couldn't really tell. But so yeah. Have we turned the page on Suarez sucking and that because Allende sucked that bad? Is that what's happening here? Because
I wish so much more that Suarez was better. I also wish Allende was better. I don't think either are good answers for what we need them to do respectively to
So
their
were we
position.
out on Suarez? Like I feel like a week ago.
But the issue is we have no other.
There's no
option.
alternative.
So we're kind of right now complacent with the fact that that's all we got.
Yeah, you're
Allende is-
comparing. You're comparing them, and that's why I broke it down. I'm like, Allende brings speed, the end, and then you have Suarez
And
who
logs.
brings some passing out of that position,
and,
which is
and
not really what you want from a striker. But if you're gonna bring something, bring something.
and honestly, Allende, I like his skill set better at the right wing position or right center.
Allende,
mid,
I like
whatever
him
you want to
better
call
never
it.
seeing the pitch.
I
Like
understand
I'm
that.
done with
I'm
him.
in the same wavelength there, but if we have to have him out there, I'd rather see him in the right wing position because
Put Frey.
he's better suited out there.
Who?
I'd rather Ian Frey play right wing than Allende.
That's fun. I mean, not that that's a great option, to be honest with you. Ian Frey does some
horrible
weird
idea.
things when he goes on the pitch. He does some weird things. So let's not pretend like this guy is
You know what? I've seen him score
I
recently.
mean, we've seen Allende score a lot too.
Not me. I haven't seen him score.
not
A
recently.
lot is a little much.
How many goals
Yeah.
does he have?
It's been
Not a lot.
ages.
Yeah, 4.
It's been
Not
ages.
a lot.
I'll tell you what, his shot on goal percentage compared to like shots in the goal, very
What's
different.
lower? What's lower, his shot percentage or the actual amount of goals that he scored?
with the chances they've had. Ian Frey much more efficient than Allende.
Oh, okay.
He has
So now
7
that's a
goals in
proper-
MLS play right now.
All right, so
Wow.
this one is let's
7 goals.
let's dive into these emojis. So this is a poop, a log,
God.
poop, log.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
And now it's time for Jose's most and least of the match, presented by SofaScore. Let's nod and say we did, Jose.
The funny thing is, if you saw me shuffling behind, I was like, "Oh my god!" All right, so what do you guys got in the man of the match? We're doing this kind of late in the show. I feel like it's always the 20th minute.
That's
mark.
why I'm cutting you off.
Good. Go ahead. So what do you guys got for the least of the match?
Least.
Allende, our emoji guy.
Yeah,
Um,
that made the list. That made the list.
I'll
That's
go-
not B. That's not. Well, yeah,
I'll go with
tied actually.
easy target. Lujan. He got burned on that goal.
Damn it. Those are
That was his.
those are the two I had circled. I had
He is
Allende.
a person.
I had Allende and Lujan circled, so I'm gonna have to go off the cusp here. Allende, Lujan.
Come on,
Let's
Dave.
go. I'm gonna go with. I wasn't too mad at him, but I'm gonna go with Noah Allen because I don't know what to do.
Because you want to pick on him.
No, Allen was a 7. I remember it because I thought I should write it down, and I was like, I'm not gonna write it
I
down.
thought he was fine.
He was okay. He was a 7. Nothing.
You know who I
to
would
say.
chosen? I would have chosen over him. RDP, DePaul, over
You
Noah
would have
Allen.
been terribly wrong.
Yeah,
He had some good cleanup duty. I did like what I saw from RDP today. RDP, I like. I'm telling you, the
Well,
midfield
Chris.
I like. Maybe Busquets, but I mean,
Now-
even he had some nice.
He had a
stuff.
miss though. I don't know if you guys remember where Messi got him on the right wing area.
Who RDP.
Messi
DePaul.
got RDP on the
Mhm.
right wing area. All he had to do was just tap it to Messi. Just a nice. He was right in front of the. It was a hard pass. It was a hard pass.
That was a tough play.
I feel like he should do it though.
They were barely off when he got it back to Messi.
And Messi slid. It would have been a perfect goal.
I agree.
That was a
Yeah.
tough one though. Yeah.
It was a tough one, but he okay. Are we not expecting greatness or not? I understand.
Yeah, 100%.
So he missed it. That's it.
Who's the least?
Bright was 6.8. Our
Wow.
boy Bright, 6.8. Allende 6.8. Boosie 6.9. Lujan 6.9. And I agree because Bright, the 2 goals, it was kind of started by him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like that.
I don't know if SofaScore tallies
Jack,
assists like the MLS actually tallies them because he technically has 2 assists tonight. I thought Bright played
Right.
a significantly better match than what we saw against Charlotte. Bright, now he did have quite a few really cheap giveaways, which is a part of his game. Definitely the downside to him, but his work rate in the midfield to get the ball back and to win 50-50 balls was really evident tonight. And that's always what we see jumping off the screen. So I thought, despite the rating, I thought Bright had a better match than Allende. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
And I felt like ultimately, Bright was doing something today that we haven't really seen. And I don't know if you guys noticed towards the end where it almost felt like they just had the ball in our side of the pitch the whole second half. That's what it is. That's at least what it felt like. I felt like we were just like about to get scored on so many times. I was freaking out. I did. Hey, listen, you have your opinion. I have mine. I felt like we were
I'm saying,
lacking.
I didn't feel that. This is not an unusual feeling for us watching these
Okay.
matches where you feel like they're gonna chop our butts off at the end. But I
Yeah.
didn't feel that this one.
I felt like there was a particular goal that we saved at the end that it was pretty scary. And it's just we had whatever, it's tumultuous. But in that we had a little Bright sighting where he just got the ball from the back of the pitch and he took it up by himself. Basically, a lot of interchange amongst everybody. It was beep, 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 all the way to the front. And what I noticed was that he was getting involved in the attack a lot more often than usual. But that was that. Man of the match. Who do you guys have?
Oh, just really quickly, I'm gonna comment on Allende. He did
Okay.
the Joseph Martinez thing about 7 times today. The dummy to no one behind him, and he dummied it
A dummy.
3-4 times in the first half alone. Infuriating.
Oh boy.
Most of the match.
Most of the match. Who do you guys got?
We're omitting Messi, presumably,
I think
Because
I
he's
think
the
it's a
most
close one.
between
it's
him
a
and
close
Alba.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, they both had an assist and a goal.
I have RDP up high. Again, I thought he
Good.
played well in the midfield, and then obviously he had the corner assist as well on Ian Frey. So I really liked what I saw from RDP today.
Go ahead, Julio. Who do you have?
I mean, I'll say Alba.
Good. Yeah, he that was him. He was him today. He was
I'm
8.5.
curious what Ian Frey's rating is because I
Are-
think he might be like top 5.
Are we all just naming everybody? Is that
Are
what
Well,
you-
we're-
no,
are-
because we know Messi and Alba are gonna be the top 2.
Yeah, it was Alba, Messi, Frey, and RDP. Those are the top 4.
Yeah, so
You don't get to play, Chris.
yeah, that's right.
We named it already. It's done. You don't. Your opinion doesn't matter. So
Well,
Alba
Frey
was
had a really
8.5.
good match, man. Frey had a really good match.
Yeah.
8.5 for Alba, 8.4 for Messi, 7.8 for Frey, and RDP with a 7.7.
And Frey didn't play the whole match, which you get knocked for that as well. So
And Jordi Alba had such an infuriatingly dumb yellow card.
yeah,
True.
That
Very dumb.
play pissed me off. It is so unnecessary
So
because
childish.
we had wrestled control back when Seattle got a little bit of momentum going. They scored the goal and we had settled things down. And then it was a dead ball. He just boots it to outer space. Immediate yellow card, like not even a second thought by the match official. I thought that was such a annoying play to me. We're gonna need him down the stretch, and we already have a lot of people that are missing matches. We cannot afford, especially Alba, to miss any matches because of silly things like that. Like if you're gonna get a yellow card, make it because you're trying to make a strong tackle on someone. Like don't get it for stuff after the whistle. It's so just annoying to me.
which is like
Did he
80% of his yellows. It's
Correct.
just boneheaded things.
Did he kick it because he was upset at something, or you just did it?
No, it was just a
because?
dead ball, and he was
just
wasting
did it.
time.
Yeah.
He just blasted it. Like
Yeah,
if you're
yeah.
gonna be like dark arts, like just nudge it over to out of bounds, make him walk an extra 10 steps, whatever. But don't make it so blatantly obvious that you're time wasting. It's
Yeah.
so annoying, man. That bothered me so much.
I agree, Henry. We get a lot of unnecessary yellow cards.
Today
Oh,
was
I
the
will
first
say-
match in like a month and a half that Falcon did not get into a fight with someone on a corner.
Yeah, but he did tackle someone
He had
during a
he
corner.
had one guy where he just held him, and he didn't get called for a foul.
No, he didn't.
Perfect.
What do you guys think of Silvetti's yellow? I thought it was kind of weak.
I thought it
think
was very
unnecessary.
weak.
Yeah.
It looked way worse than it actually was.
Yeah.
Because the Sounders guy like jumped up in the air and flailed. But when they showed the replay, I was like, that was kind of soft for a yellow, and for it being his first tackle 2 minutes into stepping onto the pitch.
I missed it. I had walked out for like 5 seconds. I had texted my wife and I was like, let me know if anything big happens. And she immediately texted me, Alberto got a yellow. And I was like, who?
Classic Alberto.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't agree with that yellow.
pretty
But
soft.
it is what it is.
And let's talk
What
about
did you think of
Silvetti.
Silvetti?
Yeah, let's actually talk about him and not just the yellow.
So what
I
do you guys
thought
think?
I thought he was. I mean, when I saw him play, I was like, "See you later, Allende." Like we should never have to see him again. Like honestly, that's the first thing I thought. But yeah, you saw the willingness to shoot from outside the box nearly immediately when he stepped on the pitch. You saw him making really good runs, but I think the thing that I loved the most was the smart interplay with players around him, mostly named Messi. He was able to really read what Messi wanted, what Messi was doing, the runs he was doing, the quick tap passes, like that was all there. And that's extremely impressive seeing his as he's been with the club for such a short amount of time. So if
Yeah.
you can build on that, and I'm hearing he's still not even 100% healthy, that would be awesome moving forward. And to actually have something from a
Spunk.
youthful player is great.
Yeah. Yeah, and,
Spunk.
and that even that run that he made, he passed it back. There was no one there, unfortunately, but I thought it was a really good run. And if there would have been someone trailing him, we've seen that happen multiple times. Nobody there, but if there was someone there, man, it would have been great. But I liked what we saw. I like what we saw from him. I agree with Henry what he's saying. With Baltasar and Silvetti, we have some good energy in the front line. I agree. But is Mascherano going to pull the plug on someone like Allende, someone like Tadeo to get these guys into the starting lineup at some point? Maybe. So who knows? But I like what we saw. I thought he was great. He played really well with Messi, and he brings not so much speed, but just I guess the right reactions when necessary. If that makes
It's like
sense.
a quick twitch. Like he had one at the top of the box where he kind of did a quick sprint across before firing off the shot. That's something we haven't really seen. Close your ears, Jose, since Robert Taylor that was his known that was his gimmick was that little quick sprint and then the shot. So that's something that it's nice to see, even though he wasn't on target with it. It is really nice to see that back, that component coming back. So that was really nice. And yeah, Chris, that you mentioned it. That was an education for him when he ran it up and then passed it back into the
Mhm.
box, only to realize there was nobody there.
Yeah,
Welcome to Inter Miami. Nobody
exactly.
runs, so you have to be aware
DePaul
that
learned
can't
early.
just blindly pass into the box thinking people are ready to strike. Like no, that's why you see everybody pulling on the emergency brake when they get one on the run. So welcome to the club. Hopefully you can be on the pitch at the same time as Baltazar, and maybe you can do that. But no, you gotta know your people and know when you can do that.
He seemed to me very willing to make a play. Like he really wanted to make an impact, and you saw that immediately when he came on. It was a free kick, and he was like bouncing behind the line of defense, really just wanting to put his fingerprints on the match. And that's something that we don't really have on the front line. Like Suarez obviously wants to make an impactful play, but you see Allende, and it feels very passive. And it's nice to see like a young player like want to go and get it. Like Kremaski used to sort of have that, and now I feel like he's lost a bit of confidence. So while he comes in and provides energy, it's much different. But Silvetti has to prove himself. I mean, he's behind probably quite a few players on the depth chart. So he wants to make an impact, and we need players that want to compete with other players in similar positions to get on the pitch and get playing time. And that's good, man. Like all healthy teams have that dynamic going. So it was really good to see that sort of mindset from a player who joined the team. Hopefully he doesn't lose it. Hopefully it's not beat out of him by Mascherano. But it was great to see, man. Like you saw it on his face. He wanted to get him behind. He wanted to make a play. And yeah, he like you guys said, played really well with the other superstars around him. And hopefully we see more. I think we'll have to see more as we move forward in the schedule. So definitely like what I saw in the 15 minutes we saw him tonight.
It's a good question, Evan.
You're muted, Jose.
You're on mute, Jose.
I wanted to bring this question back because I feel like it's kind of like makes sense now. With talking about Baltasar, talking about Silvetti. Do we think it's a culture problem? It seems like we have a lot of young talent, exciting talent that comes to Miami, and they kind of burn out. Do you see that being a potential issue with these new guys that we have?
We've seen it more in Mascherano, and we've spoken about this a ton already. It seems like he can't really get this young talent to the next level. It seems like they hit a wall playing under him. I don't know enough to to tell you exactly why, but it is something with Mascherano. I feel like we saw more young talent excel under Tata. But yeah, I think it's really a Mascherano thing. Can it be a culture thing? Maybe, but it's really a Mascherano thing, not taking the next step with these young guys.
Well,
Yeah,
who
I think
makes
they have to have. I think the young guys have to have this certain mentality to really take advantage of what these older players bring, because what
and don't
pretty
and don't
common,
bring and
right?
don't bring.
But what you see is it's pretty common, and like at first it started rubbing me the wrong way, and then I'm like, you know what? That's just their style. They're a very abrasive bunch. With the exception of Leo Messi, you see Suarez getting after players on their own team. You see Alba getting after players on his own team, and that could wear on you if you're a young player and you don't really have your like career set in stone, and you're still vulnerable. I can see how that can wear at a young guy, especially if they're making the same mistakes over and over. You can see Alba and Suarez really getting after them, and if you don't have a coaching staff that is ready to support you, I can see how that could be exponentially worse. So I feel like maybe under Tata, you had that manager who actually managed the club and was able to support these younger players and maybe put them in positions where they're not getting destroyed by some of these older players. Whereas Mascherano seems to be like hands off, guys on the pitch figure it out. And I think that exacerbates the problem a little bit.
Yeah. Can see that. Yeah, Henry, we have some revenge matches coming up. NYCFC, DC, Toronto. We spoke about it a little bit. Those are beatable teams. We have a lot of beatable teams. 7 out of the 8 are very beatable. So we'll see what happens coming up. But like David said, it is a congested schedule. Could bring some problems, but no excuses at this point. We got to make a run.
So next up is DC United.
Saturday.
They are just trying to pull up some stats for them because it's also in Miami. And DC United are one of the worst teams in the league away from home. They're 3-3-9 away. But yeah, we would be expected to win that match pretty handily. So hopefully we start seeing the consistency that we need from match to match, and we take care of business on Saturday. Is it?
Yeah, Saturday 7:30. If you look at the Eastern Conference standings, like I said, 7 of the 8 they're bottom of the table teams. DC is 14th, Atlanta's 13th, Toronto's 12, New England's 11, and then the two tougher ones, if you want to call them that, NYCFC is 8, Chicago's 9. So they're definitely on the outside looking in right now for the most part. So shouldn't have a problem.
So hopefully we start continuing to take care of business, and that gets going Saturday, like we said. For those of you that are interested, we will be doing a live watch along for Manchester City versus Arsenal on Sunday on the 786 Sports YouTube channel. So go subscribe over there if you're interested. Again, that will be on Sunday morning for those of you in the USA. But we'll be doing a live watch along there. And then on this channel, we'll be doing a live reaction to the Inter Miami DC United match Saturday. We'll be doing that post-match just as always. So any closing remarks by anyone? Nope. Cool. All right, perfect. Yeah, thank you to Floofball for sponsoring this episode. Go check them out. Link in the description for that, along with a bunch of other cool things. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you guys for tuning into the Heron Heads podcast, your first stop for all things Inter Miami. And we'll catch you guys on Saturday.